2,
3,
4,
5, 6,
7,
8,
9.
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Salut tout le monde! So I started the show off by counting like that because that's typically the way we start to learn another language. We begin by learning how to count. We're advised that if we want to keep our brain really working as we get older, try learning another language. After all, there's Babble, and there's Rosetta Stone, and, of course, there is that wonderful Google Translate. It's like now you don't even really need to learn another language. You just need to push a button. But if you're one of those people that have always wanted to learn how to speak another language and you've got time on your hands, then I've got some advice for you. And it comes from a place of experience. Number one, 35 years ago, I lived in France, and I lived there with a man that I met at Club Med. We were both GOs. We did not speak the same language at all. I remember the first time he actually said, because, and we were in love. And I went and ran away and went to live in this little rural town outside of Paris with my boyfriend Didier. And we learned each other's languages. But the only way that I learned that language was because I was totally submerged. I was so submerged that even the conversations that we were having over dinner or at the market were about learning each other's language. So that was very key, because today my husband is from Italy, and he has spoken first language Italian, obviously, for 22 years of our marriage, right? And I still don't speak Italian. Oh, we have so many Italian friends here in Los Angeles. And the reason that I don't speak Italian is because I have never been forced to actually speak it. My son, who is 29, he doesn't speak Italian either because my husband, who he met when he was 4, didn't want to speak Italian in the house. He thought we should go to school actually to learn Italian. But if he had spoken Italian more, I'm sure that Chance would have learned and would be speaking Italian right now. And he would have learned it like any child learns another language, easily. Not so easy for us as adults, by the way. So what are my key takeaways for you in learning another language? Sure, you can do Babble. And sure, you can do Google Translate. And sure, you can do Rosetta Stone. They're great, except for Google Translate. Babble and Rosetta Stone is through association. Very good way to learn. And plus, you do get to talk so they hear that you're actually pronouncing the words maybe right. But unless you literally submerge yourself into a culture where you have no choice but to speak that language, communicate daily in that language, and most of all, understand what they're saying to you in that language, because, like for myself, I learned to speak Parisian slang. I didn't even know that until years later when I was traveling around and I was in the south of France, and I realized that in the south of France they spoke French differently. Or years later when I was living in Geneva, Switzerland, and they counted very differently. If you want to learn a second language, you must be submerged in the language. You must go to the country. You must live in the country. You must be away from anything that's going to help you decipher something into English, and not be like in Milan where everybody's going to speak English, or Rome, or you get the picture. You have got to be totally submerged in that language. You do that for 6 months to a year, and I guarantee you, you will speak the language. You might come back to the U.S. speaking like a 5-year-old, but nobody's going to know the difference here. So until next time, make sure to check out my website at wendycooper.com, my podcast, The Wendy Cooper Show, Speaking of Age, conversations with remarkable people over 50, everywhere you get your podcast. Allora, ci vediamo domani. Ciao tutti. That's Italian.